Today we head to the most southern race in the United States, a track that oozes character surrounded by the vibrant, beautiful colors of South Florida. And no one is more vibrant with excitement than Josh Berry, looking to continue the momentum for the Wood Brothers. But if you want to win here, you better be right up against the wall and ride into the sunset to victory lane. Welcome to Race 6 in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. It's the Straight Talk Wireless 400 from the Homestead-Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida. And in South Florida fashion, beautiful, perfect weather conditions here in South Beach. 79 degrees in temperature, about a 9-mile-an-hour wind east through the racetrack. 1% chance of rain with wind gusts expected to be as high as 18 miles an hour. Green flag scheduled for 3:12 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to episode of MDK RaceDay. My name is Jet. Hope we're having a wonderful day as we preview the 2025 Straight Talk Wireless 400 from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Now, an update heading into today's races, of course, the surrounding fires that surround the Homestead area. A recent report that I just saw on from their socials, the city of Homestead socials, that the fire is about 50% contained, but it should be no disturbance to race day here in Miami for the NASCAR Cup Series. So that is the good news. Let's now get into it with our point standings following Las Vegas. Now, Josh Berry, with that surprise victory, earned him a spot in the playoffs, but he did not enter the top 10 yet. Here's a look at the point standings following Las Vegas with 21 races to go in the regular season. The top three remains as such as Byron, Bell, and Reddick. Now a 29-point gap over Bell for Byron and a 48-point gap with Reddick to Byron, now tied with Chase Elliott. Alex Bowman gains the spot, minus 51. Kyle Larson gains 5 positions, now back inside the top 10 and 6, minus 55. Ryan Blaney losing 3 positions, minus 64. Logano in 8th, Buescher in 9th, and Ross Chastain gains the most spots to make it into the top 10, now in 10th, minus 79. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR and proud sponsor of the Busch Light Pole Award given to the fastest driver at each NASCAR Cup Series event. Busch Light congratulates Alex Bowman for his 6th career Cup Series pole, his first at Miami, and his first pole since Bristol in the fall of last year, scoring with a speed of 168.845 miles per hour. Since 2020, Busch Beer has invested more than $70 million in becoming a premier sponsor of the NASCAR Cup Series. So here's a look at the starting lineup for the 2025 Straight Talk Wireless 400 from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Continuing on the momentum from his stellar win last Sunday in Vegas, Josh Berry backs it up with a second place starting position and an excellent season so far for the 21 team. Row 2, how about this for a surprise? Noah Gragson, we know how good he is at these types of racetracks, starting in 3rd for front row, and to his outside is Chase Briscoe in the 19 Toyota. Top 5 is William Byron, alongside him is Ryan Blaney trying to rebound from losing it oh so close to Tyler Reddick last fall, starting in the 6th position. Row 4, how about this? John Hunter Nemechek Legacy Motor Club continuing to improve in 2025. Alongside him is Austin Cindric in the 2 ride. With round of the top 10 is Bubba Wallace. He is always fast here at these types of racetracks. And AJ Allmendinger tied with the highest average finish in Next Gen here at Homestead, starting in the 10th position. Row 6 is Chris Buescher in the 2018 Homestead winner, Joey Logano in the 22 ride. Row 7, Ty Gibbs. Tell you what, with Gibbs, with the season he's had, starting in the 13th position is a mighty big improvement. And Kyle Larson, the 2022 Homestead winner, who won Friday night's Truck Series event, wasn't able to win the Saturday Xfinity race, but trying to go 2 for 3. Row 8 is Carson Hocevar and the 2023 Homestead winner, Christopher Bell. Row 9 is Zane Smith, alongside to the outside is Chase Elliott in the 9 ride, with 2311 teammates rookie Riley Herbst and the defending race winner Tyler Reddick in the Jordan 45 car. Row 11 is Justin Haley, alongside him is 2-time Homestead winner Kyle Busch. Row 12 is a 2013 Homestead winner with new primary sponsor, anchor sponsor Progressive, the first of 18 races this season. Alongside him is the Autodesk 41 ride of Cole Custer. Row 13 is Ross Chastain, and to his outside is Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Eric Jones. Row 14, and round of the top 30 is Todd Gillen and Austin Dillon. The final 4 rows listed here, Ryan Preece and his teammate Brad Keselowski. His 2025 campaign is not looking any better so far, starting outside the top 30. Daniel Suarez, a great run last weekend at Vegas, finishing in the 2nd position, but he is starting in the 33rd spot. To his outside is Ty Dillon, rookie Shane Van Gisbergen alongside Cody Ware, and JJ Yaley for NY Racing, rounding out the 37 car lineup. Here's a look at the odds to win here at Homestead. It is no surprise you see these names up as the best odds. Kyle Larson, no surprise to see him at the best at plus 300, Ryan Blaney at plus 550, defending winner Reddick at plus 600, with Byron at plus 800. Then you're going to start to see some big names. You can get some pretty good money there. Hamlin and Bell both sitting at plus 1,000. Logano, former Homestead winner, starting at 1,600, as well as Alex Bowman, the pole sitter, with Chase Elliott at 2,000 and Chastain at 2,200. And the next page, Gregson and Briscoe both starting in row 2 at 2,500. Barry and Wallace both starting in the top 10, and Barry, the defending winner, big odds for him at plus 2,800. Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch, Carson Hocevar at 3,000, with Buescher and Keselowski and Austin Cindric all at 4,000 apiece. Okay, so what are the storylines heading into Homestead? Well, first off, it's Kyle Larson and the other two drivers, Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick. Christopher Bell has the best average finish of all drivers at Next Gen here at Homestead. Kyle Larson has led the most laps out of any driver at Homestead, including he won the Truck Series race after spinning and ended up winning, and Tyler Reddick, the defending race winner. Those three drivers, they can run the wall or right next to the wall better than any other driver in the field. So those three drivers you will for sure have to watch, even though, for example, like Christopher Bell starting outside the top 10, Tyler Reddick just starting inside the top 20. Regardless, those three drivers you will have to keep your eye on. The next thing we have to look at is Josh Berry for the Wood Brothers in the 21 ride. Can he continue that momentum like what we saw last Sunday in Vegas? I think that this proved that, in my eyes, Josh Berry, that win was no fluke, and I think we will see that 21 ride be in contention in more races this year. So do not be surprised if we see Josh Berry show some muscle today here in Miami, starting in the second position. This racetrack, not exactly, but does race similarly to Vegas. So that's something to keep your eye on Josh Berry as he looks to go for 2 in a row. We also have to look at some surprise drivers in the field. I mentioned Christopher Bell, who has the best average finish out of all drivers at Homestead in the Next Gen era. But he's tied with another driver, AJ Allmendinger. I know, for some reason, AJ Allmendinger seems to love this racetrack. All 3 races in Next Gen, he has finished in the top 10 in every single one of them. Not only that, he is starting in the 10th position here today for this race. So if you want to talk about long shots, if you're looking at drivers in your fantasy lineup, or looking at betting on a driver to score a top 10 finish and get some good odds there, AJ Allmendinger is your guy. I also look at a driver like Bubba Wallace. Wallace, who had a very fast car last Sunday in Vegas, was in the top 5 for almost the entirety of the race before he got caught up in that crash involving Noah Gragson and Ryan Blaney. But today here, this weekend at Miami, that momentum is still continuing on strong. Was fastest in practice and was fastest in the 5 and 10 lap averages, and second fastest to Kyle Larson in the 15 and 20 lap averages. Not by much though. And he's starting in the 9th position. That 23 car is and will be fast. Bubba likes these types of racetracks, likes these types of mile and a half tracks, and with him being good in the short, and it looks like 20 laps as far we can go, seems as though he is fast also in that area as well. When with Bubba, we listed out his odds there. You could get some real good odds if you put your money on Bubba winning this race today, which I think is a real possibility. That 23 team has had speed in the past recent weeks, just need to get some luck on their side. If they can be able to pull together a string of races in and just not make any mistakes, focus on their own race, that 23 car could be in real good contention to win here today. Now, we're talking about the drivers that are at the front of the grid. What about the drivers at the rear of the grid? And that is talking about the drivers that need to pick up the pace. Daniel Suarez. Now, yes, he did finish second at Vegas last Sunday and picked up 10 spots to now be positioned 19th in the driver's standings, but he is still 34 points behind his teammate Ross Chastain, who is currently 10th in the point standings in the playoffs. Now, yes, Miami races kind of similarly to Vegas, but look at where Suarez is starting. He's starting outside the top 30. And even though we're only still have 21 races left in the regular season, you cannot afford to leave stage points on the table, because who knows, after Daytona, it could come down to those 3-4 points that Suarez may have needed earlier in the season. He has had some very strong runs. Unfortunately, Coda and Phoenix did not go to his favor. Vegas did, but this is a very critical race for Suarez to continue that momentum, put together another good race, clean race, make no mistakes, to be able to put himself back in contention inside the top 16. The other two drivers we need to mention that need some serious help, Ty Gibbs, I mentioned where he's starting. He's starting inside the top 15, but it has been a long time since we've seen Ty Gibbs anywhere near the top 15. The last time he finished inside the top 15, you have to go back to Talladega last October, where he finished 13th. Since then, it has been disastrous for the 54 team. I don't know if it's the crew chief, if there isn't change with how Ty Gibbs has been driving. I don't know what it is, but it needs to change now. Starting off good. He's starting off good, qualifying inside the top 15, but he needs to win. I think you can, at this point, throw stage points out the window. He needs to win, and he needs to win quickly, because you look at some of the other drivers, like now Josh Berry can be in contention. Look at the front row motorsports guys. They're showing some speed, specifically Noah Gragson this weekend. There's a lot more competition ahead of Ty Gibbs. Another driver that needs some desperate help is Brad Keselowski, starting in the 30th position in points, starting 32nd in today's race. He's another driver that I feel like you have to maybe throw stage points out the window and go win, because he is way behind the competition, and you're starting near the back of the field. That 6 car and that 54 car needs something major needs to happen to their competitors, or they need to shift the game plan instead of getting playoff points, getting stage points, and focus on winning. Regardless if this is going to be a really fun and entertaining race, long green flag runs I'm expecting, tire fall off is going to be very critical, and I think it's going to be overall a very fun race to see, as it has always been at Homestead-Miami Speedway in the next gen era. My Fantasy Live lineup is listed as such. I got Tyler Reddick, his teammate Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney in the 12, William Byron in the 24, Kyle Larson in the 5, and the driver that I have in my garage is AJ Allmendinger. With Allmendinger, you're not going to hear his name much in this broadcast. You may see him every now and then, but I feel like he's going to be that sleeper pick just in case any of my other 5 starters have an incident. He's going to be able, I think, to slide right in, and he will do me just fine. As for my pick to win, it will be one of the 5 starters. I got Ryan Blaney. I said this on the NASCAR Weekly podcast on Wednesday, and I'm even more confident. I feel like Ryan Blaney will get redemption after just barely losing it last fall to Tyler Reddick. He will rebound, and he will take home the checker flag. I have Ryan Blaney winning at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Who do you have winning this race? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, if you haven't already, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK. Thank you so much for watching. It should be a fantastic race. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the Straight Talk Wireless 400 from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. We'll see you back right here for an episode of MDK Racing Victory Stop. Until then, enjoy the race.